We are Social Blade.
Twitter actually finally, people have been asking about this for months or years even. They finally this week decided to roll out their advertising model. What they're calling it basically is promoted tweets here. And what companies will be able to basically do is, okay, so they decide they want to participate in this program. They'll craft a tweet it out, just like any other tweet. Then they'll go into this the interface for this program here, and they will say that they want to buy the keyword X, Y, and Z. And when they do that, then they start promoting this tweet. Right now, they're only doing it in search. So if you search for coffee, for example, you'll get Starbucks showing up on there. It's an example here of what it looked like earlier this week here. Actually, I searched for the Now Playing, one of the trending topics here, and we got an ad for Starbucks showing up. One of the things they're doing, though, to make it so this isn't just, and not anyone can put a tweet up here, they're doing something called, or they're measuring something called resonance on there, where they're basically taking sort of some statistics from how many retweets it gets, how many at replies it gets, how many times it's clicked on, and all sorts of different things related to that. And they're sort of comparing that to the other stats. If this person is normally getting 1,000 clicks on any link that they tweet out, and the sponsored tweet only gets 5 clicks, then obviously it doesn't have a very good resonance. So then they'll end up taking the tweet down. So instead of doing the dig model where if you don't like it, you bury it and you have to pay more, Twitter's opting to just remove it completely from the service if it's not resonating with their users. So what do you guys think about this new service or this new ad platform? Do you think companies are going to go for it?
I love it. I'm just going to jump right in and say that I love it because I wrote a blog post about 4 weeks ago that says, no matter what Twitter does to generate revenue, I'm going to love it. So I am sticking to my guns and saying, you know what, this might not be as creative or fun or innovative as I probably would have expected it to be, because we have been waiting for an awful long time. But we'll assume that 100 million was the agreed upon number that they
they're going to launch at that point.
Yeah, pretty much. That they probably said, their investors said, look, once you get to 100 million users, let's launch the revenue model, and here's what it is. So it wasn't that they were waiting because it was like some tremendous development. They were waiting to get us to come in and do it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I love it because when Twitter goes public, I'm going to buy. And in the meantime, I am also going to launch my own sponsored tweets program. So anybody who wants Zero Boy, just send me $5,000.
Well, you see that you bring up a good point there. There are some other sponsored tweet programs at the moment. I really think that those are going to be going away. They didn't really say for sure, but it sounds like that they're going to be discouraging them.
They won't be able to bust me, I promise.
Well, here's the thing. You make a good point, Ergo, and that's actually one of the first thoughts that came into my mind when I was reading the story was that, the guys at Adley, great guys, but, fundamentally their business model is going to be pretty much obsolete by the time Twitter really rolls out a kind of full-featured way to integrate things like sponsored tweets into their search, and I know that the people at Adley are they're hooping and hollering initially when they launched because they're like, oh yeah, we got all these celebrities that are advertising in stream, but there's really been a huge decline in the number of onboard celebrities who are actually doing that. A lot of them phase that out because they're getting a lot of feedback saying, hey, like Shaq, why are you tweeting about this? This is totally irrelevant. Like, you should be tweeting about like you and basketball and stuff. And this is a much, I think, easier to take in way of figuring the in-stream ads that they're pointing out. Like, this is a much better way to do it, and I'm glad that they took the time to figure out one of the most effective, one of the most non-intrusive manners of advertising in Twitter, so to speak.
By the way, you mentioned in Twitter. That's one part that I forgot to mention earlier. This actually isn't going to be just in Twitter either. They are going to be providing this once they get the system down a little more. They're going to be letting third-party apps use this as well, and they're going to do a 50-50 rev share on that. So minus costs. So I think they said like 10% costs are associated with that. But yeah, basically third-party developers are going to be able to add in these sponsored tweets also. So be careful. You might see this showing up in whatever app you use.
Invading the internet, covering Web 2.0, coast to coast, worldwide, and everywhere in between. This is where you put the social in social media. We are Social Blade.